Ojo por ojo, plata o plomo, tú sabes quiénes somos, oversized monos, me lo como, no homo, gorilla names, toca on the coro. Ojo por ojo, plata o plomo, tú sabes quiénes somos, oversized monos.
What's up, man? It's me, Polo Baby Flocko, and I'm in the building, Cypher Sundayz, man. Who do we have in the building? A legend. Hip-hop history's in the building, man. Talk to him, man. It's Tony Touch, man, in the building. It's legendary.
Word. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate you. So you in town, man. You out here in Central Florida, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
It's only right that we get you in, man. But just for the people that for however, whatever reason, they never heard of you, just take us to the beginning, man, and just, you know, give us some of your early musical influences that encouraged you to get into the game.
No doubt, man. Well, you know, Tony Touch, born in Brooklyn. I'm a Brooklyn baby, you know, came up in the era, you know, 70s and 80s, you know. I mean, you can find out how old I am online, but, you know, I'm from the original school, and, you know, I grew up in Brooklyn, and, you know, Brooklyn was multicultural. You know, we had Latinos, we had Italians, we had Black, we had Jewish, we had everything in Brooklyn, you know what I mean, Jamaican. So I was influenced by my community, man, and just, you know, got into all the cultures, and the foods, the music, everything all at once growing up.
Facts, that's what's up, man. And part of that, man, is, you know, the elements, you know, MCing, breaking, and DJ, which you've done all three.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, you started off as a breaker, or walk us through how did that go, and how did you land at DJing?
Yeah, well, it didn't cost money to break. You need to spend money to get DJ equipment.
Right.
No, but my first love was dancing, you know. I came up, you know, grew up watching the whole B-boy culture, you know, come to fruition, and heavily influenced by like that whole early rocksteady movement, and so yeah, that was what I did first. This was breaking in like the early 80s, and then you know, I would write my little raps, but nothing crazy. DJing came before I really took like my MC game seriously, and I started DJing like 1985. So it's been nonstop ever since, man. It's my 40th year playing music, and yeah, here we are.
Congratulations, man, and blessings.
Thank you, man.
Blessings for that, man. So speaking of, man, so when did you realize that you were no longer going to be local and your career was going to transcend to another level? Like, how was that feeling? Can you remember?
Well, I moved to Orlando, Florida in '84. I did my high school years here. I'm born and raised in New York, but my parents moved out here in '84. I was here for about 3.5 years. Did a little college at Valencia Community College, and then. But I started my DJ career like here. You know, this is where I got my feet wet, and not only as a DJ but as a promoter. I used to promote my own events. Me and my peoples used to rent out little ballrooms in Orange Blossom Trail, or we get like hotel ballrooms for like, you know, $500, charge $5 a head, you know, and we used to just, you know, do our thing. This is like 86, 87. And then once I graduated high school, did a little college, I realized I just wanted to go back to New York, which I was going back and forth, you know, while I was in high school, my summer breaks and all that, winter breaks. And I knew that was just, you know, the music was just calling me, and New York was calling me. So I went back to New York City in '88, and I, you know, I had to get a 9-to-5 first, and just learn the ropes and learn how to figure out who's who. And then, but you know, once I was in New York, I was living there independently on my own. I knew I was in the place to be.
Word. And speaking of the place to be, man, I mean, you worked with everybody. I mean, I mean, at this point, it's really asking like, who haven't you worked with? But speaking of, who were some of your favorite MCs or artists that you've worked with, or DJs?
You know, coming up, I mean, to me, the top of the list is KRS-One, like my favorite artist, you know, MC, entertainer, lyricist, KRS set the bar, you know. But I've had the opportunity to work with everybody from like the late great Pun, God bless his soul. I still work with Eminem. I got a radio show on his station, Shade 45 on Sirius XM. I've been doing Tuesday nights there for over 20 years. And you know, that's just to name a few, you know, Big Daddy Kane, of course, Cypress Hill. I mean, the list goes on, Busta Rhymes. I mean, I've had the opportunity to collaborate with the best of the best, you know? It's a blessing for sure.
Absolutely, man. For real, for real. And even with that being said, hip-hop is taking you around the world, you know? So outside of the U.S., what other spots have you been to that is memorable, as your best experiences?
Oh, man. I mean, I had the opportunity. I've been to over like 30 countries, man. And first time I went overseas was with Crazy Legs and the Rocksteady crew. We went to Japan. Actually, no, the first time we went overseas, we went to Switzerland. That was my first overseas trip. And then Guru from Gangstar, God bless his soul, he had a project out called Jazzmatazz. And in 1996, he asked me to be his tour DJ. So it was like a jazz band. We toured with Donald Byrd, Dia Davenport, and some other jazz legends. And we had this Jazzmatazz tour in 96. And that was like Italy, Germany, Greece. And, you know, that was, after that, man, it's just been nonstop. You know what I mean? The mixtapes is what really took me around the world, Germany and of course, you know, South America, Netherlands, you name it, man. We done ran through it.
Now that's what's up, man. That's definitely what's up. And speaking of mixtape,
yeah, man.
You already know MCs, the 50
MCs,
the 50 MCs, man. I mean, that's over the top, man. It's legendary. Literally has the hottest MCs. You know what I'm saying? Known to man. And
crazy.
So, what made you come up with that concept? Like,
well, I was heavy in the mixtape circuit for a few years, from 91 up until like 95, 96. I dropped that in 96. It was my 50th hip hop mixtape. I was doing hip hop, house, reggae, R&B, freestyle. You know, I was doing different genres, and I was just killing the mixtape market for many years. And so when I got up to my 50th hip hop mixtape, I wanted to do it like an anniversary, something special. The year before that, Doo-Wop did a tape called 95 Live, and he had like maybe 20 MCs, big dogs, you know, Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes, KRS. And so that was one of the things that like influenced me to do something similar, but different, you know? And so shout out to Doo-Wop and everybody that bought a mixtape before we got to 50.
Right, that's what's up, man. Yeah. Now, respectfully, who had the hardest verse? Who has the hardest verse?
I couldn't tell you, man. So many. Boot Camp Click. I remember we went there like 12 hours, you know, Sean Price, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Smith and Wesson, you know, Helter Skelter, Starang Wonder. I mean, everybody in the room, and it was like incredible session we did. And that was on the 50 MCs. I was on the volume 1 50 MCs, because I did 3 of them.
Right.
And so I would say that's the session that stood out the most. You know what I mean? That boot camp session was, because they was family too. So, you know, that was special. And I mean, they were playing it on the radio and everything. Yeah.
Facts, legendary. Now, you know, let's dive into the hip hop, man, into your MCing.
Okay.
How many albums did you come out with?
Well, let's see. There's 3 Peacemaker albums. There's 2 reggaetoni albums. I dropped an album about 2 years ago called The Death Tape. And so I would say about 7 albums. I'm about 7, 8 albums in. I did Last of the Pro Ricans. I did Mic Destruction. Those are more like compilation albums that I put together, but about 7, 8 albums.
What keeps you motivated to spit and DJ?
I mean, I just love the music, man. You know, I'm just a fan of I just love doing it. I mean, it ain't like no motive behind it. The MCing came like later because I was just around it so much, and I was just a hip hop fiend, so you pick up and you learn, you know what I mean? You hanging out with all these rappers, Eventually I started writing my own thing, and it came off. Some people dug it,
And speaking of, doing your own thing, Spanglish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mixing, blending in the styles.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I take up, I model some of my game in that aspect as well. But, how did you ever imagine it was gonna take to a whole nother level, the hip hop, the crossover from hip hop to reggaeton?
I mean, I was there in Puerto Rico early 93, 94, hanging out with DJ Negro. And, I was there at The Noise when he first opened that club. He used to fly me out to play at the club. And so I watched the reggaeton be birthed, But before they were doing that, they were just rapping over hip hop beats. And, the Panamanians were already doing the Spanish reggae. So it all kind of just like blended eventually, you know what I mean? And, I was able to just develop my own style from incorporating all those elements.
Now, as a Latino artist, have you ever dealt with racism?
Oh, absolutely, man. From the black side and the white side, being Spanish, we're kind of like in this gray area a little bit. So they don't know where to put us, you know what I mean? So we had to make our own lane. Even Spanish people, you know what I mean? I'm not Spanish enough, you know what I'm saying? In Puerto Rico, they would be like, refer to me, that tú eres de allá afuera, like I was an outsider. Still, even in PR. And in New York, I'm too Spanish. So it's a weird space to be in, But thank God I was able to just create my own lane and just do me. And a lot of people that were able to relate to it, that are like Spanish American kids,
Facts, man. Nah, that's what's up, man. Now, wait, let's talk about the current state of hip hop real quick, man. Well, first of all, what was your favorite era of hip hop?
Oh, man. There's good moments in each one. I mean, for me, if I had to say, I would say my high school years, 87, 86, 87, 88, Rakim, KRS, Cool G Rap. In high school, it was like, this was fresh. It was like it hadn't been done yet. And then the 90s came, and then comes Wu-Tang and Tribe Called Quest, and they elevated the art. And in the 2000s, I don't know what happened, but there's some good stuff there too. You know what I mean? Even to this day, there's great artists that I admire that are putting out music like Griselda, stuff like that. And so, but my favorite, I was class of '87, so I'm gonna go with the late '80s.
Facts, man. So, what are your thoughts about drill and mumble rap?
Drill and mumble rap. Well, there's a place for it. I mean, I dig some of it. You know what I mean? I think it's like an oversaturation of it now. But I could get with some of it. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. I like his music, and some of these kids that are out right now, like, I could flow with it. You know what I mean? I think what's happening is everybody's trying to sound alike. There's like not enough originality out there, so like I encourage these drill rappers or mumble rap, whatever you're gonna call them, to just try to be more original, because a lot of it sounding the same, But I'm not here to like knock it. I dig some of it.
For sure. What would you say is one of your regrets?
One of my regrets
in the hip hop game?
Wow, regrets. I blew a lot of money. Probably I would have saved more. I would have saved. Anybody out there, man, stash your paper, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I mean, thank God I've had a great run these 30, 40 years, but they've been dry moments. And Also, you know, stuff like that, like financial security and maybe, you know, because we out here just loose cannons, you know, think about the future, retirement, you know, things of that nature. So I think I would have just been smarter with my money. It's my regret.
Word, man. All right, so we're almost about to wrap this thing up, man. So let the people know what you're currently working on.
Well, I got the radio show still running, 20 plus years on Sirius XM Shade 45. I'm still breaking new music, new artists. Still touring. I'm doing a lot more like dance music stuff. So I got a lot of like house music records I'm putting out, and I've got an album of a bunch of unreleased songs that I've done over the years. Like I got a song with The Lox, Lil' Kim, 50 Cent, Snoop, unreleased music. So I'm gonna put out this like Lost Crates album. So that's coming, the house music. And I'm probably gonna do like a Latin album again, you know, Reggaetoni 3, which, you know, when I do those albums, it'd be like hip hop and the reggaeton combined. But, you know, now it's like sky's the limit, you know, we do Latin, salsa, whatever. But something Latin driven for sure.
Nah, that's what's up, man. So, yo, this concludes our little interview here,
Thank
man.
you,
Listen,
brother.
man,
Thank
big shout out to Tony Touch, man. Listen, if you don't know, now you know. We got legends in the building. We just trying to expand the culture, man, and just give people the awareness so they can come into this space, man, and bring positive, you know, energy to the space, man. Because, you know, I feel like...
Salute to you, man. It's just a great platform you got here, and, you know, adding on and doing your own thing. Keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Salute.
For sure. Bless.